Here's an example of monopolistic competition. So here is the cost function of firm I, which we note is a function both of the price of firm I and the price of all the other firms that don't include firm I. So let's go ahead and start this by writing out our profit function. So our profit of firm I is equal to PI QI. Now this is lowercase pi because it's the price for individual firm I, and this is lowercase q because it's the quantity of individual firm, minus the cost of I. So we're going to write this as total revenue minus total cost, and in this example, that's going to be PI QI. I'm going to keep the q there for right now, minus, and now we have to put in what our total cost function is. So in the information given, our total cost function is 9 plus 4QI, where we have our fixed cost of 9 and our variable cost of 4. And so now we're going to do minus 9 minus 4QI. The reason I write it out this way is I can collect like terms, and now I get PI minus 4 times QI minus 9. So I get price minus marginal cost times quantity minus 9. And now I can substitute in for QI. So I get PI minus 4 times negative 0 or 0.01 times n minus 1 pi plus 0.01 summation I not equal to j of n minus 1 pj plus 303 over n minus our fixed cost, which are 9. Okay, so this is how we start with this. All right, so next what we can do is we can take the first order condition with respect to what does firm I have a decision to make. They can choose the price of I. So we do this, we're going to use the product rule. So it's the derivative of the first times the second. So the derivative of this is just 1. So I get negative 0.1 n minus 1 pi plus 0.01 summation I not equal to j up to n minus 1. Now it's n minus 1 because firm I is not in this summation, and n is the total number of firms. So pj plus 303 over 9 over n plus the first, which is pi minus 4 times the derivative of the second, which is just negative 0.01 n minus 1. And so there we have our first order condition. Now at this point we can notice that because each firm has the same cost function and the same demand function, this is where we can now assume that PI is equal to PJ, which is equal to just one price. All the firms are charging one price. Therefore, we get negative 0.01 n minus 1 pi, or just p now, plus 0.01. And the summation term right here is we're adding up all the prices. Now there's no subscript on them, up to n minus 1. So this is going to be n minus 1 times the price plus 303 over n plus the price minus 4 times negative 0.01 times n minus 1. And this is all equal to 0 because we're setting our first order condition equal to 0. And now from here we notice that this term will cancel out with this term. This has a negative, so we can bring it to the other side. So we get 303 over n equals 0.01 times n minus 1 times p minus 4. And now that we have that, we're going to solve for p. So I can factor this through to each of those. And then we'll solve for p. And so what we end up getting is that p is equal to 4 plus 303.01 n minus 1 times n. So this is our optimal price. And notice that we have 4 is our marginal cost, and then this is our markup. This is the price above marginal cost that we're going to charge. And as n gets bigger, the markup will get smaller, will converge to 0. Now let's go ahead and look at our profit function and to identify the optimal number of firms. Okay, so that's the price we have. So if we look at our profit function, is equal to p minus 4 times negative 0.01 n minus 1 times p plus 0.01 n minus 1 times p plus 303 over 9 minus 9 equals 0. So that's our profit function. Now again, these terms are going to cancel out. And now we can also substitute in our p for here. And so this is where we're going to get 4 plus 303.01 n minus 1 times n minus 4 times 303 over n minus 9. So now canceling like terms and collecting like terms, we can get 303 squared over 0.01 n minus 1 times n squared equals 9, where this now is our fixed cost. So when we think of the optimal number of firms, if our fixed cost is 0, then this implies that the optimal number of firms goes to infinity. All right, but here our fixed cost is 9. As our fixed cost increases, the number of firms will converge to 0. So now we solve for this, and this is where I'm going to use Excel and use goal seek. And what we'll find is that the optimal number of firms is equal to 101. So given this structure, we can identify the optimal price that a firm will charge and the quantity and the profits. We can calculate all that. And based on that, we can also calculate the optimal number of firms in a monopolistic competitively market.